Imagine coming home after a long day, opening your front door, and seeing those big, familiar eyes looking up at you. You walk into the kitchen, and there they are. You head to the living room, and they trail just a few inches behind your heels. But then, you walk toward the bathroom and close the door, only to hear an immediate, desperate scratch at the wood, accompanied by a series of high-pitched, urgent meows. If you decide to leave the door cracked, they slide right in, parking themselves directly at your feet, staring up at you with unwavering, almost eerie intensity while you try to use the restroom. To us, this is one of the strangest, most baffling quirks of living with a feline companion. We often laugh it off, post a quick video on social media, or label it as just another example of cats being delightfully weird. But according to feline psychologists and veterinary behavioral experts, this behavior isn't just a random, funny habit. There is actually a fascinating, deeply rooted psychological truth behind why your cat follows you into the bathroom, and some of the reasons are far darker and more emotionally complex than you might ever suspect. When we look at this behavior through the lens of evolutionary biology and modern pet psychology, we begin to realize that the bathroom is a unique environment where your cat's deepest instincts, anxieties, and social needs all collide at once. To truly understand what is going on inside your cat's mind during these moments, we first have to dismantle a massive myth that has plagued feline ownership for centuries. For generations, people have falsely claimed that cats are solitary, aloof, and completely independent creatures who only tolerate human presence for a free meal. Modern veterinary science has proven this completely wrong. Cats are incredibly social animals, but their social structure is wildly different from ours or a dog's. When a cat bonds with you, they don't just see you as a landlord or a food dispenser, they view you as a primary attachment figure, much like a kitten views its mother. In a normal household environment, your day is filled with distractions. You are on your computer, cooking dinner, watching television, or talking on the phone. Your attention is divided. But when you step into the small, confined space of a bathroom, a dramatic shift occurs in the environmental dynamics. You suddenly sit down, you become stationary, and you are no longer rushing around the house. To your cat, this is an absolute goldmine of opportunity. They recognize that you are a captive audience. In their minds, you have finally stopped doing all those human things and are now perfectly positioned to give them undivided attention. It is a moment of guaranteed proximity, and because cats are masters of reading our body language, they know that when you are sitting still in that specific room, you are highly likely to reach down and stroke their fur. However, there is a much more primitive, instinctual force driving this behavior, and it has to do with how cats perceive territory. In the wild, a feline's survival depends entirely on establishing and maintaining a secure, predictable territory. Every single square inch of your home is considered part of your cat's kingdom, a space they have meticulously mapped out and marked with their own scent glands. When you walk into the bathroom and shut that door completely, you are doing something that violates the fundamental laws of feline physics. You are creating a barrier. To a cat, a closed door is not a boundary that demands respect, it is a direct threat to their environmental security. They cannot see what is happening on the other side, they cannot smell what is happening, and they cannot patrol their territory. This triggers a psychological phenomenon known as barrier frustration. The intense scratching and crying you hear at the bathroom door isn't necessarily because they desperately want to be near you at that exact second, but rather because you have locked them out of a room they rightfully believe they own. They need to know what is happening behind that closed door to ensure no predators have invaded and that their territory remains safe. By letting them in, you resolve that territorial anxiety, allowing them to survey the room and confirm that everything is under control. But as we dive deeper into feline psychology, we encounter a much more vulnerable and unsettling reason for this bathroom stalking ritual, and it revolves around the complex emotion of separation anxiety. While we often associate separation anxiety with dogs who chew up furniture or howl when left alone, cats experience this debilitating stress in much more subtle, hidden ways. If your cat follows you relentlessly from room to room, cries hysterically the moment a door is closed, or hovers directly between your feet every time you sit down, you might be dealing with a kitty who is profoundly insecure. In the modern world, many indoor cats suffer from a lack of environmental enrichment, leading them to develop an unhealthy, hyperattachment to their owners. For a hyperattached cat, your sudden disappearance behind a bathroom door can trigger a genuine spike in cortisol, the stress hormone. They don't understand that you will be out in 5 minutes, their brains register a sudden, terrifying separation from their safety net. When you finally open the door, or if you leave it open for them, they will position themselves as close to you as possible, sometimes even climbing into your underwear or pants while you are sitting on the toilet. While this might seem hilarious or endearing on the surface, it is often a coping mechanism for a pet that feels deeply anxious whenever a physical barrier is placed between you and them. Beyond the emotional and psychological attachments, we also have to look at the fascinating sensory world of the feline. A cat's perception of reality is vastly different from our own, driven by an incredibly sophisticated sense of smell and a deep attraction to specific environmental textures and temperatures. Think about the bathroom from a human perspective, and then compare it to how a cat experiences it. The bathroom is filled with unique, highly concentrated scents that are intimately tied to you. Your towels, your bath mat, and the air itself are heavy with your pheromones. To a cat, entering the bathroom is like walking into a room covered in their favorite person's signature. Furthermore, the bathroom is a sensory playground. It features cool, smooth porcelain sinks, sleek tile floors that feel wonderful on a warm day, and long, dangling toilet paper rolls that practically beg to be batted at. Many cats are deeply fascinated by running water, a trait inherited from their wild ancestors who had to seek out moving water sources to avoid sickness. When you turn on the faucet or step into the shower, the sound of dripping or flowing water acts as an irresistible auditory magnet. They want to investigate the liquid, watch it splash, and sometimes even lick the damp surfaces of the tub or sink. The bathroom is essentially a high-intensity sensory chamber, offering textures, sounds, and smells that simply do not exist anywhere else in the house. This brings us to a highly intriguing theory supported by evolutionary biologists, which suggests that your cat's bathroom behavior is linked to a primitive survival strategy known as lookout duty. In the wild, wildcats are both predators and prey. This means they are constantly vulnerable to larger predators, especially when they are engaging in activities that leave them exposed, such as eating, drinking, or eliminating. When a cat in the wild needs to use the bathroom, they are at their most vulnerable state because they cannot easily defend themselves or run away while in the middle of the act. Because you are part of their chosen family, or what behaviorists call a social colony, your cat naturally applies these wild survival rules to you. When they see you sitting down on the toilet, their ancient, hardwired instincts kick in. They recognize that you are currently in a highly vulnerable, exposed position. By standing guard at your feet, staring intently at the door, or pacing the room, your cat may actually believe they are performing a vital security service for you. They are acting as your bodyguard, keeping watch for any danger while you are distracted and defenseless. It is a beautiful, albeit slightly misplaced, demonstration of evolutionary teamwork and protective instinct. While understanding these psychological and evolutionary drivers helps us appreciate our cats on a much deeper level, it is absolutely crucial for pet owners to recognize when this behavior crosses the line from a cute habit into a cry for help. If your cat's desire to be in the bathroom with you is accompanied by excessive grooming, changes in appetite, litter box avoidance, or destructive scratching, it is a clear sign that their behavior is being fueled by chronic stress or underlying medical issues. Cats are evolutionary masters at hiding pain and illness, a trait that kept them alive in the wild where showing weakness meant becoming a target. Often, when a cat is feeling unwell, experiencing urinary tract discomfort, or suffering from early stages of arthritis, their insecurity increases exponentially. They will cling to their human companion like Velcro, seeking out the bathroom not for fun, but because they are terrified and looking for a safe, enclosed sanctuary right next to the person they trust most in the world. As responsible caretakers, we must always look at the bigger picture of our cat's daily habits to ensure we aren't misinterpreting a cry for comfort as a harmless personality quirk. Nurturing a healthy, stress-free relationship with your feline companion requires us to constantly learn, adapt, and look at the world through their unique sensory perspective. By understanding the deep psychological truths behind their everyday habits, we can transform our homes into environments where our cats don't just survive, but truly thrive. If you want to dive even deeper into the hidden language of your feline companion and discover the subtle, easily missed ways they communicate their emotions, make sure to leave a comment down below sharing your own cat's strangest bathroom habits, and hit that subscribe button to join our community of passionate pet lovers. You won't want to miss our next video, where we reveal the heartbreaking, silent signs your cat is secretly trying to tell you they are in pain, and how you can save them before it is too late.